Thank you, President Crețu, President Tilvar, ladies and gentlemen, dear guests. It is my great pleasure to welcome you today to the 61st plenary meeting of Cosac, an event that marks the end of the program of the parliamentary dimension of Romania's presidency of the Council of European Union. This year, we are celebrating an important event in the history of Cosac, that is 30 years since its establishment by the presidents of the member states of the parliaments of the member states. For 30 years, Cosac has contributed to better coherence and better responsibility when it comes to the policies adopted by the European Union. This year, we're also celebrating 10 years since the Treaty of Lisbon has come into effect, a treaty that has given to national parliaments and to the European Parliament a more prominent role and more efficient control instruments as far as European legislation is concerned. Cosac is the oldest and most valuable platform for parliamentary cooperation. It is also a format that has very much evolved and requires a lot of time and energy in order to constantly consolidate them for the sake of the citizens that we are representing. Parliamentary cooperation can be an important tool in facing the challenges that confront the European Union, as well as in providing legislative answers to the needs and expectations of our citizens. Romania's mandate at the presidency of the European Union was an ambitious one, containing large goals, important goals, and a very short time to implement them. Romania started this new effort with a determination to be successful, and results have been achieved, and sometimes they even exceeded the expectations that we have had initially. The results obtained in these 6 months of presidency show an impressive number of files on which negotiations have been concluded. These are important files for the Union, and the effects of this effort shall be perceived by our citizens on a medium and long term. Romania has proven during these 6 months that it is a consistent and predictable and reliable partner, especially in difficult moments. I urge you all to think of Romania when you are looking for a strong partner and a dedicated one as well. The Romanian Parliament has been constantly involved in this intricate effort, and I would like to thank the presidents of the European Affairs Committees from the 2 chambers of the Parliament for the extraordinary efforts that they have made in this period. The program of the parliamentary dimension has always closely followed the priorities of the Romanian presidency, and we are glad to say that we were able to organize successful interparliamentary meetings here in the Romanian Parliament and to discuss topics and actions that are of strategic importance for the European Union. The security of European citizens was a priority topic of Europol, for example, and of the interparliamentary PESC and PESAC conferences. The Romanian presidency motto is, as you know, cohesion, common European value. This has been the topic of Common Agricultural Policy Conference, as well as of a cohesion conference, but also the same subject came up in many workshops and seminars that we organized. Another important event that debated the future of the European project and our common values was the conference on the future of the European Union that was concluded by adopting a very important common statement concerning the parliamentary vision on the future of the European construction. We live in a globalized world, and our foreign actions give visibility and weight to the European Union in its negotiations with its international partners. Europe must remain a strong and a committed global actor, no matter what internal problems we are facing. And this was, in fact, the topic of the Common Foreign Policy and Security Conference that was organized here and during the workshops that we've had around this conference. We also focused on regional topics which need a coherent approach from the member state and a coherent strategy for the region of the Danube, for example. This would bring multiple benefits to a lot of member states. During the 6th Parliamentary Conference of the countries from the Danube region, we tried to find a common position and a common answer to the challenges faced by the states which are beneficiaries of this strategy. Last but not least, we had the pleasure to co-organize with the European Parliament the European Parliamentary Week that dealt mostly with economic, social and budgetary issues at the level of the European Union. We had the pleasure of welcoming high European officials and members of the European Parliament alike, of the member states' parliaments alike here in Romania, members of the civil society, academics, and so on. I was glad to see so many people come to Romania and have a chance to know us the way we are: open, welcoming, responsible, and willing to help and to contribute. Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, the program of our conference contains important topics which may bring very important benefits to the development and prosperity of our Union. By having this common reflection exercise, by sharing the experience that we have accumulated in all these topics, we can find solutions to restart, for example, negotiations that have frozen with our foreign partners. Also, negotiations with Great Britain have taken up a lot of time and effort in the Union in the past 2 years. However, I believe that we still have a chance to obtain a successful strategic partnership in the future. This is a time of major changes. We need to channel our resources on safe investments that will have long-term effects. Education is certainly a field that can create sustainable economic development and can contribute to the development of our societies. We still have unused potential. We have common, shared and solid values that can make the difference on the international market. Day by day, we are astonished by creative European young people, by their exceptional and innovative ideas. Progress is a continuous and fast process. It's up to us to positively channel this evolution for the sake of the future of the Union and for the well-being of the Union. Dear colleagues, in this period, after the European elections, which have brought along reconfiguration of the leadership of the European Union, I think it is even more important to make the voice of national parliaments heard and to become involved as much as possible in the decision-making process. The topics on today's agenda shall contribute to a better definition of the European future, and they will be a starting point for very important debates that will result in lines of action at the national level as well, not just the European one. Thank you very much for your attention. I wish you a great stay in Romania and a lot of success